Motherhood is challenging and rewarding, and it's time we discuss the truth about motherhood, our own feelings and desires, why we mom shame, and how we can start standing together. Motherhood is a lifetime of different phases, all while we are expected to manage the weight of life. It's time for us moms to not only help each other by giving a hand, but push each other to explore ourselves on our deepest levels. Welcome to the Mom Still Standing podcast. I'm your mom friend and host, Danielle Lewis. Each week, we will chat with a beautiful mom who is navigating motherhood and life in a special way. My goal, moms, is for us to understand we are more alike than we are different and that we shouldn't mom alone. So join us as we celebrate and honor motherhood. Now go grab your favorite beverage and let's dive in. Hey, mom friends. Welcome to this episode of the Mom Still Standing podcast. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with my sister friend to talk about her breast cancer story. So let's welcome to the show, Leila Smith. Hey, Leila.
Hey, Danielle.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me and just being open to sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
So a little bit about Leila. She is a breast cancer survivor. Yay. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month because it is October 2019. So this is actually Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So it's a great month for us to be having this conversation. You have 2 young adult children that you are very, very proud of.
Yes.
And you are married and you are from what I know about your story, you're a very, very strong woman, not just physically, but you're strong in your faith as well. Anything else you want to add?
I think you just rounded it all up.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So tell us about your breast cancer story and how you found out that you had breast cancer and all of that.
Okay. Well, one Saturday morning, and I need to say that breast cancer runs in my family, but one Saturday morning, normally I don't give myself breast examinations. However, I was just laying down, and I don't know why. I have no idea why, but I was just touching my chest. And I still can't remember why, and I felt the lump. And when I felt it, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think that's normal. I've never felt the lump in my chest before. And I continued I actually put my arm over my head to continue to do like a regular breast examination that they give you whenever you're in the doctor's office at your GYN. And I felt it like, it's clear as day. So I got up and went to the bathroom, and I raised my arms up because they say if you raise your arms up, there's an indent there, and I saw it. So that Monday, I made myself an appointment with my GYN. She took me in that day. She checked. She felt it. She set me up for a ultrasound. Okay. And in the ultrasound, it was determined that there was something there. It was a mass. It wasn't a cyst because it was a solid. So
about how large was it?
That's crazy. I don't remember how large it was. I probably should have researched that because I have all the paperwork. But because of the size, I was at stage 2. That's what because of the size. So it was bigger than normal. My oncologist told me that I could have had this mass in my breast for about 5 years, and I did not even know it. Your breast tissues are very dense whenever you're doing the mastectomy, and sometimes it's hard, to see what's in there. But he advised that the reason why mine was able to be detected during that time was because it was actually, coming, what's the word? It was actually coming from moving outside of the milk duct. Oh. And so it was beginning to spread throughout my breast. Right. So that's why it was able to be detected during that treatment. No. It didn't hurt at all. No pain. I had No symptoms whatsoever. None.
So you had
I
the
take that
ultrasound.
back.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
take that back. I used to tell them that my breast used to be tender, even when I wasn't having a cycle. And the doctor would tell me, "Oh, you like caffeine. Caffeine can cause you to for your breast to be sore." So that's what I was told a lot. Because every time I would have, because I would have mammograms when if I went in for an issue and nothing was there for a few years. But I went to have the oh my god,
Ultrasound.
ultrasound, yes, and it was determined that it was a mass. So at that point, I was a little scared, but I didn't think much of it. It was, it didn't bother me that much. I guess it didn't really hit me during that time. So I went in for I was scheduled the next. Everything went very, very quickly. I was scheduled the next day. She got me in for a biopsy, and biopsy was done. That Monday, I would find out what if I had cancer or not. And when I went in Monday, yeah, they told me I had invasive ductal carcinoma. So when he told me that, I was like in shock. I was there alone, and I was just. It's like whenever you hear something that you don't want to hear and you don't want to accept it, it's like you hear like Charlie Brown, wah 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 wah. That's what I heard, and I didn't hear anything else. And I know he understood what I was going through. I'm pretty sure, because he just rubbed my back and he was like, "Are you understanding what I'm saying?" And I say yes. So I had to get myself together, because he asked me what my choices were regarding treatment. If I wanted to have a mastectomy or lumpectomy of that breast, or a double mastectomy, and I opted to have a double mastectomy.
So wait, did you make that decision right there?
I did. I made that decision on my own right there.
How did you, why? Why did you not want to go think about it? Did you feel like you had enough information to make that decision at that point?
The reason why I made that decision is because breast cancer runs in my family. And I had an aunt that passed of breast cancer, and my great-grandmother passed of breast cancer, and my sister. First of all, both of them had breast cancer, and both of their cancers came back. When her youngest sister's her cancer came back, she didn't survive it. So she ended up passing from the breast cancer metastasizing. Her sister, she fought hers. She ended up basically having, because the first time she had her first breast removed, the second time it came with her other breast, she had the other removed. So just from myself, I just didn't want to have to deal with it coming back in the breast again. Like I just wanted to be done with it. So I probably should have researched it more, but for me, I had this mass in my body and I wanted it out. And I had I went to my aunt's funeral just a few years prior to that, and I said, I don't want to do it. I just want it out. So I decided to do that, and the doctor, he sent in one of the cancer. They have them. They're like volunteers, coordinators, and to talk to me. And I can say she's there to console me. At the time, I didn't want any consoling. I didn't want to speak to. I'm a little bullheaded. It's probably not good, but I didn't want to speak to anyone. I just wanted to really just internally try to deal with what was just said to me, because all I can think about is me having to go home and discuss this with my children.
And at the time, your children were how old at that time?
At the time, my son was in the 12th grade. So that means he was 17. Well, yes, he was 17. And my daughter, she was 14.
Okay.
Yeah, 14. And she was in the 9th grade.
Okay. So what was that like when you left and had to go home, back to what was a normal life at the time? What was that like?
Well, first, when I went to the parking lot, I got in my car and I just started screaming. Like from the top of my lungs, like just screamed. basically, no one understands that, whenever something bad happens to us, sometimes we ask, why me? That was my question. Why me? Why am I going through this? Why does this have to happen to me? This didn't happen to my mother. This didn't happen to my sister. Why me? Not saying that I wanted it to happen to them, but it passed both of them.
Right.
So, yeah. So, I got myself together. I went home. I didn't tell them the day of. Not that day. I just act like everything was normal. Just cooked dinner and at the table, just talked a little bit. I think so this happened on a Monday. I'm pretty sure I discussed it with them like in the middle of the week. I had to get myself together for a couple of days, and my daughter, of course, she got teary-eyed. Mom, you have cancer? And I'm like, yes, but there's a treatment plan. I can have it removed. And so my daughter's more emotional than my son, but my son is like, it's going to be okay. Just for listening to him say that, he was very supportive. My daughter was too, but at the time, he was more level-headed one, meaning it's going to be okay. My daughter...
He had a more positive outlook, basically.
Right. More positive, and she was more, you have cancer. Like, cancer is like a death sentence. That's what people think about cancer when they hear it all the time, or most of the time, sometimes to me. And that's what was in her head. Like, the only thing she heard, for me, when I was in the doctor's office, cancer. She was the same way. She focused on that one word, cancer. So, but, it was a little quiet in the household for a while, but I had one of my nieces staying with me, and she took my children to go get like this coffee mug, and I love colors and pasta, and so they went and purchased some colorful pasta and put it in this pretty glass container because I love glass and I love coffee. So they went and bought this big container of pasta, colorful pasta in this mug, and I never use the pasta. Right now, I use it for decoration. I just keep it in my kitchen because it's like a memory for me, And that's my favorite mug that I use quite often. I get upset if someone else has my mugs, but...
So how do you feel, and I'm going to let you continue with the story, but I wanted to ask, how do you feel that your breast cancer journey impacted your children? Because one of the things I know that you said, that you told me in a previous conversation, is that they never saw you cry.
No, they didn't. They never, if I ever wanted to cry, I would always come to my bedroom. Whenever I come to my bedroom and shut my door, it's like, I'm in here. And they know that I'm in here for a reason if I shut my door. They would knock, and I would say, hold on, wait a minute. Just a second. Give me a moment. And then they would wait until I asked them to come in. But mostly my daughter. But yeah, I never let them see me cry. Never. And I don't know if that's a good thing, because sometimes you can be so strong and you want to take care of everything on your own and not let people in to help you. You may need that help. And I was like, I'm going to do this. So I don't know. I wanted to try to just handle it. I wanted to be strong for them, So they were actually strong for me, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you made a good point. I do feel like that as women, and probably as parents, we try to hide life happening from our children. It's like we try to protect them from everything, but that's not a good thing, because they don't always need to see us just happy and great moments all the time. They need to see when we're hurting. They need to see when we're down. They need to see when we're frustrated. They need to see when we're angry. They need to see when our back is against the wall and we don't know what to do, because that is life. And one day they're going to have to live their life outside of our homes. And if we haven't shown them, you know, how to handle different situations, I think it could be to their detriment. And I know you probably, you know, realize that now. And I totally get it. Because the one thing that we didn't mention is that when you were going through this, you were a single parent. So it's like, as single moms, we're superwoman. We're trying to handle everything. I got it. You know, just trying to just get through every day on our own.
Right.
And I definitely understand that. But at the same time, I think sometimes we do our kids a disservice by not letting them into, you know, life happening.
Right.
Yeah.
I think during that time, I was more like, I didn't want to interrupt their life. Like, because my daughter, she did competitive cheerleading. She did track. And let me tell you, I during this whole journey, it took about a couple of years because I went through reconstruction. So I would have surgeries, and I would be in the hospital for 4 days or a week, right? I would get out of the hospital, and 2 days later, I'm driving with drains hanging from my body. Trying to take her to practice because no one else, I knew no one else would be able to do it. So I would cry and put on my big girl panties and I would be in pain and I would take her to practice. I would try to wean myself off the pain medication because I was on like, what was it? They were muscle relaxers.
Okay.
And the very strong pain medicine, Percocet, right? And so I would wean myself off that medicine within days. Probably 2 days. I would take it for about 2 days. And then I would still be in pain, but I would try to just engulf the pain, allow my body to get used to the pain. Because if I allowed my body to adjust to it, then it would adjust and I wouldn't need to keep taking that medicine because my body would be used to the pain. Because I knew I couldn't drive with that medicine. So I would wean myself off within a matter of, at the most, 2 days. And I would drive her to practice, pick her up. Now, but after I had my mastectomy, my double mastectomy, I had one of my really good friends. She changed her work schedule for me because she knew what I was planning on doing. She said, Leila, you can't do this, right? So she changed her work schedule and she would pick my children up from school. And at the time I lived in Holly Springs, and she would drive them from Holly Springs to Cary and drive them back to Holly Springs, you know, sweep them up from school and bring them back home. And during that time, she would also take my daughter to practice. So it was a lot of things was going on at the time because I had just purchased my house 3 months before I was diagnosed. So many things was going on with me at the time. You know, I was as a single parent, and it was crazy. It was crazy.
I was going to say, so you mentioned that, so no one was there to help you. So was it really that no one was there to help you, or was it just difficult for you to receive help and to let people in to help you?
You know, I think, I'm glad you asked me that. I think for me, it was probably difficult for me to receive help.
Why?
I have been so used to doing, after my divorce, I had been so used to doing everything on my own. And I feel that I had to do that for me and my children. And because I wanted them to know that just because this is happening to us, we can still get by. And I wanted them to know that they can get by, you know. So not all the time that's good, because I know during that time I knew I needed help. But I was so dead set on, this is not going to break me. This is not going to break my children. This is not going to, you know, but at the same time, I was strong, and all of that was still broken. But no one knew I was broken. No one, because I would go to my room and cry. Yeah. Yeah,
and that, so, whew, you just said a whole lot that, you know, as mothers we can relate to, is that we're trying, you know, and I think I can even speak on the behalf of mothers that, you know, are married. I think we just try to do everything on our own. I don't know if we're competing with other mothers or competing with ourselves, or I don't know what it is. I've been there myself. And another
Right.
mom had to tell me, Danielle, you need to let someone help you. And it was like,
Right.
what? And so one day, and then another thing she said was because people are saying that they want to help you. And when they're offering their help, that means they care and you should let them help you. And so it wasn't
Right.
an immediate thing, but one day I did. It was like, oh, okay, let me, somebody offered to pick my sons up and I let them do it. And it was such a relief. Like,
Right.
oh my gosh, I don't have, and at that time I was living in Raleigh, working in Durham, and it was like, oh my God, I don't have to race across 540 to go pick them up. Somebody else can do it. And so that's how I started allowing people to start helping me, because it was like a weight was taken off. And so I can't imagine going through an illness and like trying to be so strong and not like showing any emotion and not letting people in. I just can't imagine that. And so I'm so grateful that, this friend of yours was able to get through to you, and that you realize, what, I need to let her help me. Because I believe that's what part of the motherhood journey, that's what it is that us coming alongside of each other and supporting each other and being there for each other.
I think for me, it was more like how I was raised. And I think that's where mine come from, my mindset of, you don't want to ask people for things, and you just want to be able to just do it. It's not, that's another conversation. But that's so that, I'm pretty sure that's where the root of that came from. But I also think that I now know that why I think he was trying to slow me down and letting me to accept help from others. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, I mean, the other thing you said was that, people didn't really know what you were going through. And so I have to mention the fact that you participated in my Strength and Beauty Revealed photo shoot in 2014, which was basically designed to help women see their beauty and to feel more confident after, like a full day of pampering. And just also a time for us to encourage and support each other as women, as sisters, as moms. So I, after the fact, like last month, found out exactly what you were going through at that time. And I was like, oh my gosh. So what was going on in your life at the time that you decided to take part in the photo shoot?
God, I was just so grateful to just be a part of what she had going on during that time. But breast reconstruction, I was going through breast reconstruction at the time, and
so tell us what that is, because I'm not sure the audience knows. Yeah.
So basically, whenever I decided to have a double mastectomy, they remove all your breast tissues, everything. I wanted them to take everything in the nipple and all, and they basically put an expander between your chest muscle and it's between your I think it's your rib cage and your muscle. It's something like that. But they put an expander there, and during reconstruction, they inject saline in that expander to stretch your muscle, so that when it's time to put the implant in, that muscle is stretched good enough for that. I had some issues with mine because during the time I was going through chemo at the time when I first started, my skin died and they had to cut it out. It's crazy. And because of that, my reconstruction lasted longer than what it should. And so I was going through just probably a total of 8 surgeries total.
Wow.
That I went through, right? And it was a lot.
What time span was that you had those surgeries?
It was between 2013 and 2015.
Wow, so 2 years.
Right. Yeah, and that is probably the time that I was mostly just really emotional because I got sick of the surgeries. I got sick of my thought process. I'm sick of them cutting on me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick of pain. It was painful. I was trying to work at the same time, and my oncologist prescribed me an antidepressant medicine. and I'm like, I don't want this. I don't want it. But he thought I needed to take it because I guess I showed signs of depression. Mm-hmm. And I did feel it, but I never took one. I prayed about it. I said, I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to take it. And I poured it down the toilet and I flushed it, which is not the right thing to do to get rid of medication. But
right.
At the time, I wasn't thinking.
Don't try this at home, guys.
What I did. Yeah, do not try it at home. But I never took it, and I think once I started trusting that my whole perspective was just different because I realized it's not for me because I started meeting other people that was going through the same thing that I was early. They were early in their journey. Mm-hmm. So I just tried to encourage them on, so you're going to get through this. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a distant memory. When you look back, it's going to be a completely distant memory. You're going to get through it. Watch.
So you're in the midst of it. And then you are encouraging other people that they're going to get through it. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Which helped me.
Okay. And so your faith in God is really what got you through, because you told me that, you didn't really discuss, your pain points. You didn't discuss emotionally how you were feeling. It was like you really only talked to God about it.
Right. That's true. Yeah. I would come in my room and cry and and when I say talk to God, a lot of people may think that, oh, you got on your knees. No, I would come in my room and I would cry and lay on my bed and just talk to Him. Like, God, this is me again. This is me again. I know you hear me. That's the type of discussions that I had with Him. Mm-hmm. And I would just pray to continue to be there with me, stay with me. I really need your compassion. Thank you for being there for all these times, and I know there's a reason for this. Mm-hmm. I know one day I will understand why. Mm-hmm. So, but thank you for keeping me today. Thank you for waking me up. Thank you for allowing my friend Sharice to take my children to school. Thank you for Teresa bringing me meals every day. Thank you for everything. Thank you for my job being so compassionate towards me. Thank you for allowing me to continue to take my daughter to her her out of school activities, after school activities, or thank you for allowing me to even, go in the room and still beat my son in his Xbox game sometimes. So yeah.
Yeah, because the reality is that you're still a mother. Like, through this, you were still mothering. Like, you still had to take care of your kids, every day may not have been a good day. Every day may not have been a day where you were, happy-go-lucky and making dinner and, playing with them and jovial. But the reality is that you were still in that role.
Right.
And I love to hear that basically what you did was you just took the opportunity to just soak yourself in gratitude and just thank God for what was going well and thank God for what He was doing. And I think that's a message and a lesson for all of us.
Oh, yeah.
Is
definitely.
What are you thankful for? Like, what can you thank God for in the midst of, your brokenness and your hurting?
Because those little things add up. It adds up.
So we're going through the breast reconstruction at the time of the photo shoot. And so why did you want to participate then? Because I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. Like, if I was going through that, the last thing I'm thinking about is showing up amongst other women and trying to, look beautiful and be confident. I don't know that I would have had the confidence to do that. So why was it different for you?
I think that's why. Because at the time, after chemo, okay, so it took a long time for my hair to start growing back because the chemo and the many surgeries, the anesthesia, the medicine, oh my God, the medicine took so long for my hair to grow back. And I was self-conscious. And that photo shoot that I participated in with you, it helped me connect with other individuals. I met two other individuals there that I communicate with today. Not every day, but we communicated. We keep we still follow each other. And both of them are very inspiring. Two beautiful women. And I don't mean outside. I mean inside. They have beautiful inside. Right. The personality is great. It was mostly that. Just to kind of like look pretty, the wig and the hair, because I hadn't seen myself really dressed up in a while. So it was more medicine for me because strength and beauty, all of us there, we were very strong, and just to participate in that and to show, to be able to discuss our weaknesses and to also to display our strength by being there and just kind of inspiring each other, because we were there at your photo shoot really inspiring each other. I had women say, oh my God, no, that is so beautiful on you. Do this, do that, wear it like this, bro. Right. It was great. I loved it. That was a great part of my journey. Really feel blessed to be a part of that. So
and we were blessed to have you, especially knowing now what I know. And then at the end towards the end of the photo shoot, you did something very, very brave. And that was that you wanted to take a picture showing your scar, your breast area.
Right.
So what inspired you to do that?
First I saw it before. and I thought that was, oh my God, that is so awesome for her to just show how strong she is, but at the same time, what this cancer can do to you, but she's still living. It's like for me, when you show your chest and you show that scar, it shows that I've been through this, but I'm still here. For me, it's more early detection. It's like a bam, here it is. This is what happened to you, but your story's not done. And it really is not. It didn't happen to you, So I guess, it didn't happen to me. It was just part of my life. It was destined to be a part of my life. So it was already written in the book. When you think of something happening to you, it's sometimes it can be negative. Oh, that's horrible that happened to you. No, it didn't just happen to me. It was already written that it would happen. It was just part of my journey, and it helped. It helped me grow as a person. So.
Yeah, we just all thought that was so remarkable that you did that. And then the way the picture came out was just so phenomenal. It was almost like an alter ego picture.
Right.
But it was just so brave of you to do that. And I think that was, for all of us, we were just so deeply inspired by your courage to do that. And so I just thank you for showing up, for being there, and just having the courage to unveil that.
Well, thank you.
So, when we talk about the scars and I obviously have my two breasts, but what was that like to lose your breasts? Like, what were your thoughts and feelings behind? Was it hard to detach from that?
Well, at first, when I knew that I had a mass in my right breast, it wasn't very hard at all. I wanted it out. Okay. I'm like, I want these gone, and my breast does not define who I am. It doesn't define me as a person. That was my whole mindset then. And I'm thinking, when I have these new boobs, my breasts are going to look totally different. They may even look better. Negative. No. they look nothing. To me, I'm going to be quite frank with you. I am most likely going to go have more reconstruction because you never know. Think about it. Someone is trying to sculpt your breast it's like from the beginning. So it's unnatural. So to me, I felt, and this is probably so sad, it may sound negative, but this is what I feel. Okay. So after all these surgeries, after everything I've been through, I feel my breasts look like an 8. Oh my God, I look like an 8. You know? And I can laugh about it now, but during the time, I was really upset about that. And because I'm thinking, people have it in their head maybe that their breasts may look different afterwards because we choose to do implants. And people have implants, or those people that get implants when they have their breasts, they still have their breasts and they have their nipple. So I had nothing there. So they did not look like, to me, normal breasts. But I started having some complications because my, it's a foreign object in your body. So sometimes on one side of my chest, I may have like constant itching, and the other side, I may have like constant pain. So I do intend on removing the implants because at first I just want them out. I've been looking like this for how many years now? I don't care. But I'm gonna end up having my stomach flaps to go up to my breast because it's more natural. In hindsight now, I should have done that at the beginning. So I'm gonna end up doing that within the next couple years. I plan to do that surgery.
Okay. And I guess you're right. I mean, when I think about my breast being gone, I'm thinking about it from a cosmetic, probably even a vein standpoint. But you said it correctly. Like, no, I just want these jokers gone because they are diseased. Like they are, know. And so I'm glad you said that because I think when you don't go through that situation and you have not had that personal experience, you're thinking about it just from how are they going to look? You may even be thinking about your man, and, all of this stuff. How am I going to look at my clothes and all of that? So I'm glad you pointed that out. It's like, no, I just want these things gone. I just want to be cancer free. I want this disease, this infection out of my body.
Until they're gone. And then when you see what you have after everything is done, and you reflect on that as well. And it can be very self-conscious. You can feel very self-conscious of yourself. And I've had those issues with my husband, when me feeling very self-conscious of my chest.
So how have you gotten through that?
Him. It's like it doesn't matter. I don't look at you. You're alive. You're here. My baby's here with me. I don't care about your chest. So yeah.
Wow, that's encouraging. So what advice would you give to a woman that, maybe just received a breast cancer diagnosis?
What advice I would give to a woman? I would have her to research. I know that she's gonna, that things move very quickly with me. I don't know how quickly, everyone is different, but research what's best for your body. Oh, God, it's like you don't want to tell anyone to do anything wrong, but my thing is research. And also, just have people there for you. If your friends, your family want to be there for you, have them there for you. Just talk about it. Talk what's going on with you, how you feel, what you need from people. Don't lock yourself in the room, because that's what I did. Don't do that. There's still life. Because God forbid if something detrimental happens, that's all you have. So you want to continue to live your life and just still be faithful and have faith in Him, and just let people help you through your journey and talk about it. God, talk about it, because that helps. Talk about it. Find someone you can really trust and just discuss it with them. But do a lot of research on what you think is best for your body. So,
Okay.
because there's different options you have, and my option may not be for everyone. I think I went a little extreme. Do I regret it? No, I don't regret my option. I don't regret my decision at all. Because if it happened again, I would still have a double vasectomy. I would still go through the breast reconstruction. What I would not do is I would not do the implant. For me, nor what I know now, that would not happen. I would have tried through my stomach area and move, excuse me, and move that up to my breast area. So,
Thank you for sharing that. Now, are there any resources that really helped you through this journey, or do you now know of some resources that would be helpful for a mom or a woman journeying through this?
actually, the resources that I benefited from was I went to Rex Hospital, their oncology center. They had a facility there that provided me a wig and 3 caps. It was right across the street from the oncology office, and they do have this at Rex. It's called Look Good, Feel Pretty. Okay, and you go there, and you basically they give you all these. They give you makeup, and they give you just skincare creams. They give you just a lot of skincare products and makeup. And it's all in a bag. It's a lot of stuff. It's wonderful, and it's all in pink bags that says "Look Good, Feel Pretty." And you're there with all these other women, and you are just trying all this stuff out with everyone. It was nice. It was nice, and you kept everything, so it was very nice. I would encourage women to go to enroll in that.
So it was at Rex Hospital, the Look Good, Feel Pretty.
Yes, Look Good, Feel Pretty.
Okay.
At Rex Hospital.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing that. And also, how important is it that we should be checking our breasts regularly and getting mammograms? Because one of the things you said that you had been getting mammograms and it was undetected. And and you were doing breast exams but not very regularly, and then just on an off time you ended up finding it. So how important do you think it is to be actually doing these things anyway?
You know what? I still think it's important. For my breast cancer, it started in my milk duct, so it was hard to detect the cancer there. But it started. The imaging did detect it once it was started to. I don't know the words. Oh my God! when it started to travel outside of my milk duct is when the imaging detected that. But all the time, a young lady may have cancer that's outside of her milk duct, so it's important to still have the mammograms done. And now, from my understanding, the mammograms have gotten a lot better. The imaging is a lot better. Okay. I wish I had that imaging years ago when my cancer was not detected, but it's very important to continue with your mammograms. What is it? Once a year, and also to do not wait until once a year to check your breast. We should always do our home examinations. I say every week, or not even put a time on it. It can be more than a couple of times a week. My mom said once a week at least. Once a week, do at home what the doctors do in their facility. Just put your arm above your head, and you feel around your breast. Going around in a circle with your fingers, and until you make it to the nipple. Just make sure you really examine yourself, because a lot of lives have to be saved with early detection, and early detection is key. So we need to make sure we're checking ourselves.
So you said that this process or this journey has allowed you to grow. Do you look at your life differently now than before you were diagnosed?
Yes, I do. I think, not saying that I was not compassionate, because I've always been compassionate, but I'm more so compassionate. I can empathize with people and their feelings. My faith is stronger because I went through a lot. This conversation doesn't even touch on the mental that it had on me. This whole ordeal. But I've changed. My faith for him is much, much stronger. Like I can say, I know he's going to do this for me. I know he's going to do it. And you believe it.
Yeah.
And I believe so.
Yeah, and if we had more time, I would love to go into it, but you are definitely a woman of strong faith, because you told me that because of this situation with your cancer and God healing you, that you were brave enough to leave your job by faith.
Yes.
And so when I heard that and heard that whole story, like you left your job, you didn't have another job. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this woman is a woman of faith. Like, she's no joke. So, and I think that's what the Christian life is about. It's really, the word says we go from faith to faith and glory to glory. And it's in these times that our faith is strengthened, our trust and God is developed when we go through and we see what God has done. And then when we're faced, because we're always going to be faced with something, and then when we're faced with another trial, we can just glance back and be like, oh yeah, God, this is difficult. What's ahead of me? But I know that you're going to get me through it because you did this.
And that's exactly where I feel that he wants us, because whenever we have something going on in our life and we want these answers and we have to trust him, it's like he takes us back our thought process, because it's like you think about things that happened in the past that you went through and how you overcame it. It's like he's like, didn't I do this? Like, what do you think? What happened here? Like, trust me, I did this. We did this. Trust me, it can happen again. And I think that's where that's for me. That's how it is.
Yep, that's a blessing. So we'll end with, this is, like I said at the beginning, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Are there any activities or events that you support?
Yes, I supported today, actually. I went to I walked the 5K for the Make a Stride Walk for Breast Cancer. It was very, I love it. I do it. Try to do it every year. Next year, I will have my own team. Normally, the first year I had my team, and then every other year I walked on supporting other people in their journey and on their teams. But next year, I will have my own team.
Yay.
But I thought it's very inspiring to see a lot of women out there who have their survivors like myself, and they are currently going through it, and they will be survivors again next year to come. So yes. All right. Well, I am just so grateful that you decided to share your story with us. I can't say it enough how much I think you are a woman of faith, and how you have just placed your trust in him based on what he's already done for you. And it's just an amazing story of God's healing and just the Christian life, and how we're supposed to journey through this life when we're faced with unforeseen situations. So thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing. And is there any last thoughts that you would like to share with our mom audience? Just, keep going, keep moving, just trust him and let people in when you need them. Let people in, but also have have that alone time as well to reflect and have your silent conversations, your healing conversations as well. So have the desire to inspire. That's my phrase. Have the desire to inspire. So, yeah. Very good. Well, thank you again, Leila. And thank you to my mom friends for joining us on this episode. We will see you next time. Peace out. Thank you, moms, for tuning into this week's episode of the Mom Still Standing podcast. Make sure you head over to iTunes and subscribe. If you found this episode to be informative and encouraging, please write a review so that we can continue to empower moms everywhere.
In the meantime, remember, connected moms don't mom alone.